Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Naren, Ramesh, and today I'm going to be talking about my personal best FMC mean from CMI Teslit 2020. It was quite a good mean for me, 33.67, which is my PB by quite a bit. So I'm going to be discussing it because I am reasonably happy with my solutions, and I do think there is something to be learned from them because I just use plain CFOP without many FMC techniques at all, apart from a little bit of block building. So without further ado, let's get into the scrambles. So all the scrambles will be on display and they'll be in the description as well for you to follow along. Okay, so this is my first scramble, and as you might be able to tell, it does look pretty good right out of the block. So the first thing I saw is this. This is a very nice block, and I knew that I wanted to preserve it for sure. So I started off by doing. So basically, what I was doing was I was gonna solve on white because I had the pair set up here. So that was my first goal, was to solve on white there. So basically, first I did a D prime to set moving this in here like so, but this moves this pair in here, and I don't want that because when I do the final correction to set these two up, it'll upset this pair. So first what I did is after the D prime like so, I did a U prime, and that moves this away. And now after L D prime U L, that puts this pair in. And now here's the interesting part, right? That sets these two in like here, but instead of just inserting it like that, I decided to put this in, as that makes this pair like so. So now that I had this set up here, I could insert this in like that, and that makes this pair as well. From here, what I did is I was experimenting a bit. So first I tried to set these up like this so I could go in there, and I got a 20 onto 3C, which I was unfortunately not able to finish. So this could have definitely been a bit of a better solution, but regardless, let's get back to it. Yeah, okay, so now after I preserve the pair, so put this in here. Now what I realized is that if I insert this like this and then solve the final pair, you might notice that this square is built, which means that when I insert this, I get this 3C, which is just an OLL with a PLL skip. But since the last move setting up to this is an R prime, from this angle, if you rotate it, it's continuing with the algorithm. So it's a 32 cancelling one move, which makes it 31. So that was my first solution. Pretty nice overall. This is the paper. I actually didn't write much. I basically found this and kept on trying to look for other solutions, but didn't get much. So yeah, this was my first solution. Now moving on to my second solution. This was a 38, my worst solution by far, but still got me a decent mean, which I am rather proud of. So that is there at least. Yeah, so this is the solution, and I originally found a 39 and I managed to get a 38, so still not that great but good enough. So yeah. So what I first saw was that, okay, 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 yeah, so this was my solution basically. So I was started with green, and what I saw immediately here was that this was opposite from the place it needed to be, which is here, so it can be with the red piece. So I also saw this pair, which is what made me choose green as my starting side. So I decided to preserve that pair by doing, first of all, just as you can see, an R2 which moves this up, so that when I do the F2 to put this in here, it doesn't break this pair up. And from there, it's just a D2 to put this piece in, and then what I did is an F, and then since this pair has been made, I can put it in here, and that block solves it there, right? So that makes this block, and from here what I notice is that the last move putting this pair is in R prime, and if I continue the R prime move, I can set up these two, and that also makes this pair very useful. So now what I did is insert this here, but first, you don't want to insert that immediately. So instead, so that was what I was thinking of originally, but I realized it doesn't work that well. But here, so this is the first couple of moves of it, right? So that sets up here. Now I did a U prime, now what I did is, it was currently over here, and I did a inserted this pair like this in such a way that solves this pair, and now I can insert this here. And we knew one thing, right? So when I insert this, it sets these up in form of an A perm. So these corners, so this is solvent because of this block. So these three corners need to be swapped around for me to have solved this, solved corners basically. So the last move here was finishing with an R prime. So I decided to continue that into an A perm. And that leaves now only these edges left to be solved, which I did like so. And that gave me a 38, which I was not too happy with at the time, but it was reasonable. And it gave me podium chances, which I was pretty happy about. So there's that. Now we're going to be going on to the final solution. I actually spent quite a bit of time on this. I spent my most time on this solution, and started off with a 36, then got a 35, and finished off with a 32. I'm very happy with this. So here's the scramble. So So I started with green basically, and in this orientation, FD. So this was the way the scramble started, and I noticed this block right away, pair rather for green, so I knew I wanted to preserve that, of course, and I decided that I would start by solving this relation to this. So since green and white and green and yellow opposite, started with an FD F prime and followed by U2 to put this in here, and now this pair is in. So after an F prime I've made this block, so that's pretty good as a start. Now I did D B prime D prime, and basically what I did is I knew that I wanted to make this pair with this corner because the green, red and white and corner was here and the red and white edge was here. So to pair it up I did that, and that now puts that in here, and that is a 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 move 2 by 2 by 3, which very good. So I thought I could have done better on this, but this is all I was able to do at the time, unfortunately. Now over here I thought about it for a long time on many different solutions. Actually, first thing that I saw that popped out to me was just inserting this like this, and this gives me a OLL skip, but unfortunately that leaves me with a YPOM, and basically using optimal YPOM that gives you a 33. So if I got a better PLL, this could have easily been like maybe a sub 30 perhaps, but unfortunately not so. So going back to the scramble, yeah, so FD prime F prime U2. So what I decided to do here is, once I reached this stage, I decided that since this edge was here, I would use keyhole to solve this pair by offsetting the bottom layer, moving this into this place, which will then be moved back here like so. And what this ended up doing is it also preserved the pair so that I can insert it like this. And now one thing that I knew was that when I was inserting it like this, if I did this PLL, I would get a JPOM. But if I did this PLL, I would get a UPOM. So those are two ways, because as you can see over here, the opposites are here, which means that you will automatically solve the corners if you do this case, but you won't if you do this case. So that was one thing I knew I had to use. Plus I had already started with in this orientation, I started with that, which means that when I'm doing this, I can either way cancel into this algorithm or this algorithm. So it didn't really matter to me, but I just want to find out which is better. So the 35 I have over here, is from doing this, but as you can see that didn't work out really that well for me. So basically what I ended up doing is inserting this and moving into that UPOM. That gave me a 32, which I was pretty happy with, since it gave me second place in the competition to Pranav, who got an NR single. So he was way ahead of me, but still nevertheless felt good to get a podium and get a PB by quite a bit. So yeah, that's my FMC mean from CMI Tesla 2020. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like. I'm not sure what happened to the comments of my last two videos, but they don't seem to be working. Nevertheless, try in some way to reach out to me and help me out, because I'm clearly not the best at FMC and I could definitely use some improvement. Obviously all three of these could have been way better, so please try to reach out to me and let me know if you know any better ways to do this. Anyway, yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.